Hi everyone, I'm Jim from Uper Survival. This is Dan, my good friend. You've seen him in some of my other videos. Today we're doing a video on fishing survival, and we're going to show you guys some techniques. I'm not going to say they're going to work for you because we're not too sure they're going to work for us. We're getting called out on a survival challenge. We got to spend, I don't know if it's 24 or 48 hours on an island, and we haven't worked out all the details of what we're allowed to bring. So today I got a backpack full of different stuff we're going to try. First thing we're going to do is try to find some bait, and main thing, which I forgot, luckily I got a Mentos tin can. I never thought of anything to put the bait in, so we're going to use this first. And so let's go dig some worms.
No, wait a minute. Look at that.
What do you get?
Worm.
Sweet. All right, that's mine.
Now don't forget these ain't mints in here.
All right, I got another one.
You got another one?
I got a grub, or a little slug. All right, let's just keep on looking. All right, just one under this whole log, that's it. All right, we got enough though. Let's go try to catch some fish. Yeah, I missed it. Got a bite. Probably a creek chub.
If you were surviving, you'd eat it.
Yeah, if I caught it. Alright, I can tell you right now that survival fishing with just a wooden stick is not as easy as everyone thinks it is. Anyone who's ever used one of these, which a lot of people probably haven't, I never have, this is the first time, they're heavy. All the weight's in the palm of your hand. Alright, you can't feel the fish bite. So, and if this creek had big fish in it, well then yeah, I think this would be great. But I think I'm going to go cut a smaller sapling, a little bit skinnier. Let me show you how this one, I made this one. If I don't fall over the grass. This has just got a sewing bobbin on it. And I got a washer and a screw. And that's just holding that all together. And you can loosen and tighten it. Then up the line, I got an eyelet halfway in the pole. And what I like about this is when if that bobbin's tight, you can hook your hook right in that middle eyelet and the line will stay tight. So when you're walking through the woods, you don't have to worry about getting caught up in a tree or something. And then on the end I got another small eyelet. But I think I'm going to go and try something else different. I'm going to cut a smaller sapling, skinnier, something I can feel with a little better. So Dan's making up a pole right now, and when he's done, I'll make mine up. I'll go through my gear and I'll let Dan do a little fishing. Alright, I want to show you guys some other fishing options you guys can bring with you. Like I said, this is Dan and my first time really to try to fish, finding everything, you know, and just bringing a little kit. But if you really want to be ready, you know, you can bring some other stuff. This I made the other night on the lathe. I think they call it a hobo fishing reel. I put some paracord through it because I'm afraid just fishing like this, if you do catch a fish, you could pull it right out of your hand. So I put some paracord on it, give it a twist. It's kind of tight. And that way if a fish bites it, you know, you got it. He can't get away. You can carve one of these yourself. I mean, just find a round log. And bigger's better. I think this is like almost 2.5 inches. And this is just a little over 2, which I might take it down. I really haven't used one of these before. But I beveled the edge so you can wrap the line around it. So when you throw it, it'll come off real easy. So a lot of people drill holes in the middle of them. I haven't done that yet. I'm not too sure I want to. I'm afraid if I put a cork in the end of it and you're carrying it around the woods and the cork falls out, well then you've lost all your tackle. So, and I think this really isn't good for a stream. I mean, in an emergency situation, yeah, you could probably use it. But if you got the string, you could tie it to the end of a sapling anyway. I made a few of these up. And this one I made out of plastic. I just wrapped line around it. And you can make them out of wood if you want to. I find better that the straighter they are, the easier the line comes off. If you curve it to keep the line all in one place, it doesn't seem to want to come off when you throw the sinker and your hook. Some fishing line options to bring with you. I picked this up at Walmart. It's just some South Bend. It's a 10-pound test. I think there's 100 yards on it. They're like 94 cents a piece, so actually you're paying $1 for them. And in that, at Walmart, there was 10, 12, 6, 8. So for $4, you can have 400 yards of line with you, and it's already on a little spool, which you could probably hook it up to a fishing pole just like I hooked up with the bobbin. And then I made a few of these up. You see them in people's fishing kits and stuff. It's 3 inches long, and I drilled 2 holes, cut the piece of wood off in the chop saw, and I think I got 150 wraps on this, so whatever 150 times 3 is. What is that, Dan? He's he's off collecting more worms. Let's see here. This is my kit. I got a little Ranger band wrapped on it, and I thought the tin was the perfect tin to keep stuff in. The fisherman's friend. I'll go through what I got in here real quick. Okay, rubber bands. I'll show you later in the video what that's for. Treble hooks. I don't care where you go. Treble hooks is the main thing to have in your tackle box. I think they're more important than just regular hooks. On the stream, I don't really know how big the fish are, so if they're biting real finicky and you can't really feel with these wooden poles, then I think a treble hook, they can engulf them. You know, you might have to cut the fishing line and gut the fish and get your hook back, but at least you got something to eat. I keep everything in little plastic bags so you're not, what you're looking for is in the kit. Just a bunch of different size, small, regular single hooks. Trout also like teardrops. You cannot go wrong, so keep yourself a little raiment of teardrops. In a small creek like this, it's hard to fish with just a hook and a sinker, but if you put a teardrop on, it's just enough weight that you can get them underneath the logs. Got some spinners. And here's my kit to mount the spools. I got some washers, some small screws, and some eyelets, and there's some different size eyelets in there. A couple bell sinkers, and all these little bobbins I got different line on it. Like this one here, this is Berkley Fire Line. Some spider wire. In this little tin can I got a bunch of sinkers. Got some little wire, because that's what I'm going to use to attach my spool to my fishing pole I'm making. Alright, what else do I got in here? These little pen poles. They're cheap, and I mean they're cheap. They're anywhere from $7 to $20, okay, but they're really, really cheap. But in a small kit, you could probably throw one in there. All this reel attaches to the pole. Change the line when you get the reel, because it's probably China's best 2-pound fishing test. When you put these away, make sure don't just collapse them like this. You will break them. So just keep pushing them in from the bottom. That way you won't break them. And even if you do break the pole, you know, you still have the reel. And that right there is more important than the rod. You can tape this onto a stick, put in some of them eyelets, and you got a better fishing pole than just the ones you're wrapping the line on. Alright, that's pretty much everything I got. I'm going to make this fishing pole real quick. I already screwed the eyelet into it. I think what I'm going to do is, I can get my knife out here. What I'm going to do Let me get it closer to the camera. Alright, I got two pieces. This is going to be my line winder. This is my pole. Alright, one part of this pole, you got to make sure that, should be cutting towards me, make sure it's flat. Alright, you don't want two round ends together. Make sure it's flat. Doesn't have to be absolute perfect, but try to make that flat. Stay there. Alright, this is going to be your little line winder. Try to pick the straightest part of it too. So, all I'm going to do is bevel the end up a little bit so you can get the line around it. And then this, yeah, they say don't cut towards you, but it's just more comfortable for me. Apparently maybe I should have brought a first aid kit too. Alright, once you get that flat, I'm going to put a little more bevel on these. Now, what I'm going to do, in that kit, I had that little spool of wire. Now I got some Ranger bands too, but I think even the small inner tube tire is not going to be tight enough to hold this to the rod. You know, if this limb of the sapling was a little bit bigger, then yeah, it probably would hold it. But I think I'm just going to take some wire and hook these two together. Nothing fancy. You can see that. Alright, let me put some fishing line on this, get a little teardrop on it, and we'll go see if we can't get some fish. Alright, I got my little pole done, and this is what them rubber bands are for. Alright, once I get my little line winder wrapped up with wire, you can wrap your fishing line around it, and the little rubber band will keep that hook and your line tight so you can walk through the woods without getting all tangled up. So throw some rubber bands in your kit. You'll also notice that I don't have any bobbers with me. If I need a bobber, because my little tin can only bring so much in it, if I need a bobber, I'll cut a little dry stick, wrap some line around it, make a bobber. But you can go with a little bigger kit than that little fisherman's tin. I just know it's the same size as an Altoids tin can. So anyway, Dan has been fishing this whole time. I've been yakking my mouth off here. So I'm going to go catch up with him, and let's see if we can't catch some fish.
Oh, I think I got one.
You got one?
Yep, hold on. Oh.
Get him up before you lose him.
Get him on the sticks. Trying to get him on the brush. Oh, look at that. Ooh,
Hey, what is that?
hard.
I can't tell in the camera. Oh, that's a nice brookie.
Oh yeah.
All right.
All right.
So we can survive.
We can. Get this out of his mouth.
You need some hemostats?
I might. This hook good. Good thing for us. Oh.
I got my Leatherman right here.
Got a Leatherman, eh? Oh, he's coming out. I got her. There. All right. Cool.
All right, chuck him back. We don't really need to eat nothing today.
There he goes.
He went all by himself. All right.
Yep. Well, we know we can do it with the homemade stick pole.
I'm too close with the camera. I can't zoom farther back out.
I did trade to a treble hook because they were hitting, but you just couldn't get them to hit the hook. So I give
Oh, what'd you have on before it?
just a
Teardrop?
regular straight hook.
Oh, just a straight hook. All right.
One little worm. That's it.
All right, so we can eat if we had to.
Yep. Okay. Well, you've been hollering. All right. I'm just slow with the camera. Okay.
All right, we have a fish. I think Dan's the better fisherman today, but
You're gonna lose some weight on this survival trip.
hey, at least we caught one though.
Yeah.
At least we know my little pole works. I'm surprised.
Yep.
All right,
Anyway.
that's the last of the worms. We didn't catch a lot of fish today. We lost a lot more than we caught. We lose a lot of hooks, so whatever I had in my tin, I might end up getting rid of some of the other fishing line, just basically stick with the monofilament. I do want to keep some of the Berkley Fire line. If you were in a true survival situation, you could set some trot lines in the deep holes with some limbs, or even that pole that I made, the first one I showed you. You could actually anchor that in the ground somehow and catch some fish.
The thing is, trial and error. If you bring the tin and you try what you have, and some stuff works, some don't, get rid of the stuff that don't work, because it just makes it easier when you do have to use it. You know what you got that'll work.
Yeah. Like I said, I've seen some other videos out there where people are walking the shoreline, finding fishing line, finding lures and stuff, and that's great. But in a true survival situation, if you're lost, if you find that stuff on the side of a riverbank or something, I mean, don't be stupid. Pick all that stuff up. But most likely, you're within probably a quarter mile. You know, follow that stream upstream, and you're going to finally find a road. Go ahead.
And any pole really works, because you're pretty much just using a cane pole idea. It's the technique and how to try avoid snags and how many extra hooks you should have on a tin compared to just throwing a bunch of stuff in there and then not needing the stuff you do need.
Yeah, we went through a lot of teardrops. I will admit though, I think the teardrops got more bites than the treble hooks. But we landed the fish with the treble hooks. I mean, I got lucky with that little one.
When they bite the treble hooks, you hook them better. That's
yeah, I agree with you.
That's a toss-up. It wouldn't hurt to have either way. If you're biting light, use a treble hook. If you're hitting hard, use a teardrop.
Yeah. So, guys, thanks for watching. We hope we taught you something. Maybe I'll put in a bunch of bloopers at the end because we had a lot of takes.
Yeah, we're Yoopers, so keep it simple, make it fun. That's the whole plan.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.
Later.
I forgot to mention a few things in the video. You know, don't just make these kits and just say, okay, I got them. You know, it's going to work in every situation. It's not. You know, don't expect to walk down a shoreline and find a bunch of tackle on the shoreline. You know, what you bring is maybe all you get to use. So, you know, make these kits up. Take your son, take your daughter out. Go fishing. You know, have some fun with it. I mean, that's the easiest way and the best way to learn this stuff. Practice, practice, practice. And also, what works for us might not work for you, okay? I'm thinking I might need a little bigger box. I don't think this tin's quite big enough. I don't want to go too huge, but I'm going to do some looking. I got time. I'm not lost. Stay tuned for some bloopers. I think you guys are going to enjoy them. And don't be afraid to hit the subscribe button. Alright guys, thanks again for watching.
Hi everyone, I'm Jim from Yooper Survival.
I'm Dan. You said that's what I was gonna say.
Alright, okay. Hi everyone, I'm Jim from Yooper Survival.
I am Dan. And he camera.
Alright, you ready? Here we go. Hi everyone, I'm Jim from Yooper Survival.
I am Dan.
Jeez. Oh, you ready?
Hey, yes.
Hi, I'm Jim from Yooper Survival.
I'm Dan. It's a great day out.
You know what? I'm just going to introduce your ass. That's the way it is.
Really got to practice your technique. Take 107.
Just like that. When you talk, just like that.
Torque. that out.
No, I don't think we got it. All right, take 1,100.